I've got another quick video for you. This one is about 3 tips to use Twitter to improve your SEO. And I'm going to move from the easiest to the more complicated. So before I talk about Twitter for just SEO, I'm just going to go ahead and admit that I'm going to totally pass over all of the social reasons and traffic building reasons to actually use Twitter and internet marketing for your brand. And I'm specifically going to focus on how Twitter can help you with your SEO. And this is pretty basic stuff. This is stuff that you can do on your own, or you can talk to your search professional about, okay? So the first tip that I want to talk about for using Twitter for SEO is simply to have a Twitter account that matches your brand name, whether that's your personal name or your company name or your product names. So make sure that you have a Twitter account like we have, twitter.com/juicyresults. Juicy Results is our brand name. And I talked earlier in another video about page 1 domination. When people Google your brand name, that's extremely important when people are doing research. And Twitter is almost guaranteed going to rank on page 1 for your brand name unless you've got a really generic brand name, and then you've got a different problem to talk about because you're never going to really be known for that. So if you look at Juicy Results right now in Google, if you Google Juicy Results, I believe the fourth ranked link that comes up will actually be our Twitter account. So that's great. So that's important because that's taking up a spot on page 1. And as I mentioned in the page 1 domination video, you want to make sure that you completely dominate page 1 with positive brand reinforcing information for your brand name. All right. So once you get that out of the way, and by the way, don't forget to use the profile content to actually include keywords that are related to your brand as well. Because I've actually seen some Twitter accounts rank really high on page 1 in Google, and then I clicked through to see why, and it was because of the content that was in that first 160 characters that Twitter gives you to explain who you are. So don't overlook that, okay? So that's tip 1. Make sure you have a Twitter account for your brand name. Tip number 2 is to actually use Twitter to broadcast links out to other people in the hopes that they then link back to your website. So I talked in another video about how Google determines what page to rank when somebody types in a search term, and a huge determining factor are the links back to your website. And if you're doing what we recommend, which is creating some compelling content out there on your website, and you use Twitter to broadcast that to people, to directly shoot it to people that you think would be interested, the hope there, and this is an indirect approach, is that they will actually share that content to other people, and somewhere along the lines, people will actually start to link back to your site. Now, something that's a little more technical that kind of happens is that a lot of people put Twitter feeds on their website. And they do that, and they'll decide what to show in that Twitter feed based on a keyword or a hashtag or the person being mentioned. And I know this may be very technical, or I'm mentioning some terms you may not know about if you don't use Twitter, but this is really simple stuff. So what's going to happen is that when somebody automatically includes your tweet with a link to your website automatically on their webpage through one of these, that content is getting indexed by Google, and there's a good chance that that's going to actually increase your rankings or the authority of your domain. All right. So tip number 2 is to actually go ahead and broadcast out really quality links back to your website in the hope that it's good enough information that others decide on their own to actually link to it, which is just going to be, a huge kick in the pants for your SEO. Now, tip number 3 is very similar to tip number 2. When you're doing that, we also want you to include keywords and hashtags that are related to your keyword strategy for SEO. So if you're going out there and one of your target keywords for SEO is widgets, then when you're broadcasting links back to your website, you want to do the hashtag with widgets, or you want to include text in the tweet about widgets. And the reason that's going to improve your SEO is that more and more all the SEOs believe that Google is looking to social media, and it's actually starting to index tweets and Google Plus and Facebook content, especially YouTube. And so anytime you get a chance to have a massive amount of content out there that includes the keywords that you're going after and links back to your website, then you're on the right path for SEO. And so, as I said, the first one is extremely concrete. This last one is a little bit more abstract. But what you want to do is you want to actually go out and make sure that you talk about your brand name, and you talk about links, you include links back to your website, and you include text that includes the target keywords for your SEO strategy. Now, if you do those 3 things, at the very least, I can pretty much tell you that your brand name Twitter page is going to rank on page 1 when somebody searches for your company name. And over time, if you're doing this right, you're going to actually get a big SEO boost for your company as well. So those are my tips, my basic tips for using Twitter for your SEO. If you're not doing it, make sure you are, and make sure you're talking to your SEO professional about how you're integrating Twitter into your SEO strategy.